Welcome. I'm Dr. Arnold Nierenberg, 77 years of age. I've been a clinical psychologist for 45 years. The reason I'm dressed this way is because of the topic that I'm going to be presenting to you. I'm going to read you the title. It's Weightlifting of the West, Qigong of China, Yoga of India, and Kettle-Bells and Power Irradiation of Russia. Let me say it again. Weightlifting of the West, Qigong of China, Yoga of India, Kettle-Bells, and Power Radiation of Russia. So we'll be talking about the American way of developing ourselves, the Chinese way, the way of India, and the way of Russia. So I'm going to be integrating that for you today. What we have behind me here is when I called myself a world champion health builder. I'm a world champion bodybuilder. I'm a world champion powerlifter. I took the title when I was 65 years old, the strongest drug-free man in the world for my age and weight. I performed a number of feats of strength at 65 years of age. I bench pressed 365 pounds, drug-free, no wraps, no scraps, no belt, no bench press shirt, just me. When I was 72, we hung 140 pounds on a chain belt, and I did a pull-up. I also set a world record on the T-bar strongman pull when I was 67, of 270 pounds. And then I had a world's strongest grip for my age and weight when I was 71 with 261 pounds per square inch on a grip strength. So we have these different feats of strength. Here I am. Well, I don't have it here. Let me just run over here. So here I am as a world champion bodybuilder at 70. That's my back. I went down to 152 pounds. When I was 65 years old, weighing 212, I was a world champion powerlifter. That's when I took the title strongest drug-free man in the world for my age and weight. I had prostate cancer in that photo. Didn't stop me. I became cancer-free. And then at 70 years old, I took the title world champion bodybuilder. I gave myself this title, world champion health builder. And today's lecture is really to show you how to become a health builder. That's why I've integrated East and West to help you with this, because I want you to have that health. I want you to be a health builder. So we all know in terms of the West about weights. You have the dumbbells. Typically you start something light, and then you might go down to 25-pound one, and then you have 40-pound one. So it depends where you want to go. Then you have two types of weights. This one's called pig iron. See, it's thin. It's a thin bar. This is what I grew up on back in when I was 14 years old. So I've been lifting weights for over 63 years. And then the kind of weights that fit on the pig iron are like that. It's got that little hole in it. These are the Olympic weights. They have the larger hole. And you have the bar looks like that. So you have a larger bar that the Olympic lifters use. It's pretty common to have these in gyms now, but many of us start out with the old pig iron. And then the Russians brought over the kettlebell, and I will talk about some of that. You can do a lot with the dumbbell. You can do the same things with dumbbells, but it's nice to just vary what we do. So this is the dumbbell. And this is an adjustable one, so you can adjust how much weight you have on it. A lot of them are just a solid piece of metal. But this one, you can adjust it. Now, in the West, we focus on muscle strength, muscle size, getting big, getting strong. That's the West. But like I said, in that one photo, I had prostate cancer. A lot of the weightlifters, especially powerlifters, are not healthy. So when we talk about Qigong, that's been developing in China for 4,000 to 5,000 years, is to develop the strength of the organs, the heart, the spleen, the pancreas, the lungs, the digestive tract. So I'm going to be demonstrating some Qigong to you. And then in India, there's yoga. I'm going to show you what are what are called the 5 rites of Tibetan yoga. So it's from Tibet. And I'm going to show you a demonstration of that in terms of balancing the chakras. So the chakras, you have about 7 of them on the knees, and the dantian, on this side, the heart, and you've got right with the third eye and the top. So you have 7 chakras, and their energy. Where you have energy spinning, and you want to get that spin going, and you get a balance. So they're all about spinning at the same rate. So the 5 rites of the Tibetan yoga are going to get those spinning. So you want to work on the chakras, and then you want to work on the Chinese talk a lot about breathing and the meridians. That the meridians, many of you might have heard about the foot. You massage some parts of the foot, and one part corresponds to the stomach or the heart or the spleen, and different parts of the body have meridians that go to organs. So if you tap those, you're going to affect the organs. And then the concept in Chi-gong, Chi is energy of the life force. Gong means work, so it's working with the life force energy. And the Chinese masters really developed this beautifully, and we're going to be availing ourselves of the Qigong practice. Now we have, not only with the weights, I showed you the pig iron, the Olympic weights, but we also have free body weight exercise, push-ups, leg raises, sit-ups, pull-ups, dips, using body weight. And that's also extremely powerful. I did a demonstration of what's called a power hang, where you hang for 4 seconds from a bar with weights hanging on you. So I did a really good demonstration when I was about 72 with 310 pounds hanging on me, and I did that power hang. That develops the grip strength. I haven't been doing it for a while, but that's how I was able to set that world record of 261 pounds per square inch at 71 years of age. So the breathing, you want to be getting diaphragmatic breathing, instead of from the chest expanding like that. We want to get the belly going and oxygenate ourselves. We're going to need that for strength, but also it's good for blood pressure and good for the organs, because we want to be oxygenating ourselves. And then I use with that what I call the power thought. I now call one of the laws of honor, I can, I will. So I go to, so when I can, I will. So you just saw me do radiation of power from the gut. So I'm not making the noise deliberately, that just comes from pressing out on the abdominal muscles. So the radiation of power, which is a Russian method, is sending out, it irradiates from one muscle to the next. I've had many people who did grip strengths with one hand, and I say, okay, now try squeezing the other hand while you're doing it. And it was a good difference, a much bigger increase when I'm squeezing both hands, because the power radiates. So the more you tighten up more muscles, the power radiates, but particularly the intra-abdominal pressure. And by the way, if you want to take about an inch off of your belly size, you do what I call vacuum. So you're going like this. You hold for 10 seconds. So you're having your belly button move back towards your spine. So that'll get the size of your belly smaller. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to demonstrate some of the meridians and how to, for the different organs. So first thing I'm going to do is start with the heart. So when I do this a couple of times a day, 2-3 times a day. So this right over here activates the heart. There are a number of spots that activate the heart, here, and even here. There was a case with a nurse where a patient died of a heart attack, but she knew about this. So she went and squeezed his lip right there, and to everybody's shock, he came back to life, because these different meridians are attached to the heart. This is one of them. That gets the heart, that activates the heart, and is very good for the heart. Now I'm going to open up the lungs. No, that really hits that speaker. Oh, that's too much. So I'm going a little lower than I normally would just because of the mic. Now this is for the spleen and pancreas right in here. I'll go about 20 times. Now, I'm going to step over here. Hugh's not going to give me. So now I'm going to do the kidneys. So you saw you get that okay, Hugh? Mm-hmm. So there's the kidneys, the spleen. Now also, what I want to do now is work some more on my heart. So one of the spots right here, I'll do that about 10 times. And then right under here in the middle finger. And then right over here. Do the same thing on the other side. Right over here is for the heart. Right there's the heart. And right here. Now, also, you want to get the lymph under the pecs right here. Do maybe 10 times. Right on the lymph node to help move that along, which is good for the heart. The other side. And then the clavicle right here. And the clavicle right here. And then we work the traps right here for the heart. Now, if you go like this with your hands, build up the chi, and when you go apart like that, you can feel the energy between the hands. Go further apart, and you're going to bring that chi right into the eyes, and then this is for the eyes, to strengthen the eyes. So you go left, right, left, right, left, right, then up, down with the eyes, up, down, and in a circle to the right, and out in a circle to the left. That's what I'm saying. Now there's ocular pressure that builds up inside the eyes that can lead to glaucoma. That pressure can destroy the optic nerve. So these are two meridians that will relieve the pressure in the eyes. One is right in here. You go in a circle. And the other is right here. And that will reduce the pressure. So if you have glaucoma, you want to prevent glaucoma, keeping the inch-right, you want to keep that pressure under 14. If it gets up 19, 20, that's going to start damaging the optic nerve in the back of the eye. And open up the sinuses. You're going right here and right here. And you want to get some chi energy going into your thyroid at the base of the neck. What I like to do then is also send some chi right directly into the heart. Now, for the teeth, doing that, so I like to do this together. Rubbing the nails like this is good for hair growth, and so also chattering the teeth also strengthens the teeth. Okay, so these are some of the meridians to stimulate the different organs. Now we have chi from our body, electromagnetic physiological energy. We are electricity. And we basically, just like the earth is 70% water, our body is 70% water. Most of the water we have is in the gut area. So we want to do, also, so we have a number of pumps in the body from the calves, the heart, there's about 7 different pumps. So the coccyx at the bottom of the spine, and the cranial area right here. So what we do is kind of, what I'm going to do is demonstrate getting the cerebral spinal fluid moving. So I'm getting this. So one's at the coccyx, one's right at the cranium right back here. And when you inhale, imagine the fluid coming up. And exhaling, it's going down. So I guess the fluid moving, you're imagining it going up and down, you're visualizing that. The other is now to rid energy, any kind of negative energy inside of ourselves. And we want to open up the rib cage and so coming back like that. And this builds up the chi and rids negative energy. and you start to feel lighter. Not many people start feeling lighter from this. Now, you want to be doing some of the deep breathing throughout the day. I like to do 3 at a time. It's good if you can get 10 deep breaths an hour. I probably do closer to 3. The oxygen is good for all the organs, the brains, all the organs, including the muscles, everything. And also, cancer cells don't do well in oxygen, so it also helps prevent cancers from mutating and developing. So you want to keep yourself well oxygenated. So the universe is seen as filled with this chi energy, the whole universe. The trees, the earth, our bodies is chi energy. We can develop our own, we have our own chi, we can be using that. A lot of the chi is stored in with the dantian, about a couple inches below the belly button. So we're going to be certain things to get to dantian. So one is called bringing down the chi, for bringing down the sky. So it's called. Now I'm going to do it slow. I'm coming down. So I'm staying over my gums and teeth, sending chi into the gum area. Over the thyroid, bringing in the chi. Now this over the heart, you visualize energy coming in through the heart and then out this hand and through here. When I'm breathing in. The energy is coming out through the left, coming in through the right. So some of it's through visualization. Now we're coming down to the dantian. Bring the chi into the dantian. And coming down over the legs, over the knee. I've had a torn meniscus here, so I send in some chi energy into the knee. And then down into the feet. And then coming back up from the feet. Again, stopping for a while. Over the knee. And coming back up and coming to the dantian. Then you want to stimulate further, taking chi from the earth. So you're coming down and bringing the energy up into the dantian. You want to be stimulating all your organs, your small intestines, your large intestines, your colon. You want to be just massaging it. It's good for the digestion. You want to be moving everything inside. So this is reaching the organs. So you've seen me through the heart, the lungs, the kidneys, the spleen and pancreas, the eyes, the thyroid. So really we want that internal power. So the muscle power, we want that muscle power. We want to have big muscles, we want to have strong muscle. We want to have that. Absolutely. In the West, we know how to do that. And we know the supplements to take. Branched chain amino acids, because it has L-leucine, the most powerful anabolic amino acid in the world, stimulating muscle promotion, muscle synthesis, protein synthesis in the muscles. And we know about many other supplements and the kind of proteins, in particular the whey protein is absorbed so rapidly after a workout during the anabolic window afterwards. We know that also growth hormones, we know how to increase our growth hormones by taking large amounts of L-glutamine or combining certain types of L-arginine with L-lysine to kick up growth hormone production. Also, we know that doing a lot of reps, where you get that burn, that lactic acid's coming in, those growth hormones are coming out at that time. And that burns the body fat and revitalizes the hair, nails, and skin, strengthens the tendon and ligaments and the immune system, and gives strength and more sexual potency. That's what getting that burn. We know how to get to testosterone, the other anabolic hormone. We get more testosterone going by lifting heavy weights, such as in the bench press, the squat, the deadlift, the bent over rows, the military presses. we know these aspects of things. So in the West, we know about the muscles. But I can't tell you how many bodybuilders, and particularly powerlifters, are not healthy because we haven't been integrating it with the Qigong that the Chinese have of getting the organs healthy. Now I'm going to demonstrate the 5 Tibetan rites, of yoga, to then get the chakras spinning. You want to get them going faster, and you want to have them all going at a faster rate than they are, and that's you get balance in terms of the chakras. So the first one is the spin. So you have them like this, standing like that. I'm going to keep my eye over there and come around. That's 3. I don't do a lot of them. I go like that. I watch here to kind of steady myself after getting that equilibrium a little disturbed by those spinning. That takes that one. Now, the others, here I'm going to come down on my knees right here. Because that's right, number 1. That gets the chakra spinning faster. So this one, I used to do 3 of each. About 15 years ago, I used to do 5 minutes. I did 3 of each, and I stayed with it for a long time. Then as I kept increasing it, you're supposed to increase by increments of 3, get up to 21 reps. When I got up to 15, 20 minutes, I stopped for 15 years. Go ahead. Lift the head up, raise the legs. That's the 3rd and the 4th of the Tibetan rites. To get the head back. That's the 3rd one on that. Now we're going to do, that was the 4th. Now we're going to go into the 5th. But I really wanted to illustrate the Russian method of power radiation. I wanted you at least to see a kettlebell. Many of you have seen it, but many of you have not as well. And then the Qigong of the Chinese with the meridians and the breathing, and getting incredible power for the organs. So we don't want to be satisfied just with muscle. Muscle is important. It's very important. In fact, as we develop muscle, it actually burns body fat because it raises metabolism, so it's really good. So when we do weightlifting, we're not only building muscle, but there's a perk that you're developing as well. You're making your bones stronger. And as you get older, that's really helpful because when people fall or different things happen, their bones start going. Well, weightlifters have much stronger bones from the weight-bearing exercise. Less likely to get osteoporosis and have much stronger bones. So the weights, you're getting the muscle, but you're also getting bone, stronger bone. But then you want your organs. And the Qigong is developing the organ strength, the heart, the lungs, the spleen, the pancreas, the kidneys. It's a lot of power. When we get the liver, you want your intestinal tract, your gastro, you want your colon, you want everything inside strong. So outwardly strong, inwardly strong. And then you want to have the mental that I developed which is I can, I will now. And you apply that to all areas of life, exercise, or you have to do something that you've been really not wanting to do. But once you say now, you're totally in. When I was pulling those 14,000 pounds of trucks, which I'd never done before, once I said now, I can, I will. I can, I will. Can, I will. Now, boom, I was in. I didn't know what was going to happen when I did it, but once I go now, I'm all in. So then we saw the 5 Tibetan rites of yoga, and to get the chakras, the 7 chakras, spinning faster and more harmoniously with each other. So we're developing, all the organs are connected. The prostate, the testicles, the heart, the lungs, for women it's our ovaries. Everything's connected to all the other organs within the Qigong system. It's not like, oh, you've got this organ. It's like a plumber going in and taking something out. It's not like that. We're not machined. All the systems are interrelated in the body with the Qigong system, which makes a lot of sense. And then we have the chakras. In fact, the Chinese Qigong is called Chinese yoga. There's a lot of overlap between the two systems. So you got the Qigong, you have the yoga, and I was just, there's many forms of yoga. I was just showing one form of the 5 Tibetan rites. I like that one. It really is a good one for longevity and reversing the aging process. And the weightlifting, now the Russians have been great with the Kettle-Bells, the power radiation. They have a lot of very powerful athletes with the weights, and we know a lot about maximizing the anabolic process, minimizing the catabolic process where the body's burning up muscle. And we know about the mitochondria, which is the powerhouse of the body, where it's burning adenosine triphosphate, which is made of adenosine and phosphate. Each adenosine is attached to 3 phosphate molecules, and the adenosine is made of adenine and ribose. So each time one of the bonds is broken, you get the actin and myosin and the striated muscle coming together and contracting. So and you go to adenosine, biphosphate adenosine, monophosphate, and it just rebuilds itself. So we have a store of about 500 grams or 900 grams in the body of ribose. It's good to supplement. We know it's good to supplement with that. We also know natural ways to strengthen the heart as well. Coenzyme Q10, D-ribose, L-carnitine, and magnesium. So between the breathing and using the meridians, so you use those. I show you the exercises, the particular meridians to be hitting and rubbing to strengthen the heart. But then if you're using these supplements on top of that, with the Western method, because we know a lot about supplements, the research is through the roof on natural supplements that we can be taking. The Chinese have their own herbs to do these things. It doesn't have as much empirical testing as we have with these, but they've been used for thousands of years and extremely effective. Very, very effective. Natural herbs that they've used for 4,000 or 5,000 years. So, but we can combine the whole thing is to integrate East and West and become a health builder. So I'm inviting you to be a health builder. See, when you're a bodybuilder, a power lifter, that's great, but you better be a health builder or your life will be shorter. I don't think that being a power lifter extends your life. It could shorten it because you get an enlarged heart from it. And same with bodybuilding. If you want to, you really have to look after your organs. You need to know about your breathing, and then, of course, nutrition. You want to have a plant-based diet. I mean, if you want to eat, I'm not saying you shouldn't eat fish or chicken or eggs, but you want to certainly have a lot of plants, particularly broccoli. You want a lot of broccoli, and the king of the fruit is pomegranates, which prevents a myriad of cancers. Of course, you want your garlic, your onions, your blueberries, which facilitates the brain function. There's a lot of these natural fruits. So you want to have an optimal diet in terms of vegetables and fruit. And the king of the fruit is the pomegranate. And you want to be having your fruits and your vegetables. And then you want to know how to take what supplements, particularly fish oil. And most people are vitamin D deficient. And as you get older, you particularly need a combination of what's called HMB with vitamin D. And that combination, as we get older, will stop the sarcopenia process of muscle loss. You want to be combining those two. So we have a lot of tremendous knowledge, tremendous amount of research has been done at top labs that we can be using, that we've developed in the West. But we certainly want to be benefiting from what our Chinese brothers have been doing for thousands of years, what our brothers in India are developing is unbelievable, the knowledge with the yoga. Now, for most Americans, we're not as patient as, say, the Chinese and the Indians. So in terms of really doing a lot of meditation, a lot of yoga, a lot of Qigong, it's more alien to us. So that's why I found I just do small amounts of it that I can keep to, both with the Qigong and the yoga. Now, weightlifting, I've been doing all my life since I'm 14. I'm 77 now. I can go in the gym, do an hour, and I'm okay with that. I have the patience because I've been doing it all my life. But the others, it takes a while to kind of cultivate getting into it. And the deep breathing, the diaphragmatic breathing, was extremely good for us. Extremely. Well, it's been my pleasure to present to you weightlifting of the West, Qigong of China, yoga of India, and kettlebells and power radiation of Russia. Thank you very much.